is happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. We're diving back into more fresh new Arvon beer. This one was canned on December 11th, 2024. Today is the 19th of December, so this is super duper fresh. Just dropped into Northern Michigan distribution. This is the Toboggan Rocker Hazy Pale Ale. So not your IPA. It's going to be a pale ale today. And this is clocking in at 5.5%. Hazy Pale Ale with Citra and Dorado hops. I always love that Arvon lists their hop profile. I still appreciate that in the modern era of time. So we can kind of explore what these do for one another in this can. Let's check this out, guys. I hope you're doing well. And we're going to get this into the proper glassware, into the Arvon glassware, because we like Arvon beer. And I love their tap room. I can't wait to go back someday. I don't get to GR too often. But if you guys ever get to GR, make sure you stop by Arvon. Kind of off the beaten path a little bit. But really nice facility, truly. And this is nice and yellow and hazy at 5.5. So it didn't pour like a, M43 Boss Tweed. Not as orangey, not as thick, not as dense. Doesn't look lactosey or anything. Looks nice and lighter on the hazy spectrum. But it is indeed super hazy still at 5.5%. I will say that without a doubt. Subtle creamy layer over the top. Very nice. Slick and sliding down the glass. Let's get a nose on this, guys. Toboggan Rocker. What a cool name. Arvon always making things interesting with the new ones. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell it's a Citra. I mean, I've heard a lot of guys describe it as the kind of nose-piercing, cat-pissy, fruity, passion-fruity thing. It's very much that. A little bit more subtly soft and piney on the back end of those notes. Still bright and aromatic, though. Maybe like a little bit like maltier, maybe, than you're getting on some of your other Arvons, but it's still that fresh, estery, citrus, stone fruit, tropical fruit notes kind of all playing together. With Citra and Dorado, there's a nice variety of flavors in both of those hops, both kind of showcasing themselves pretty well. I'd say it's more dominant in the Citra category, but they list that hop first too. Little white wine orange. I'm not going to get way into this, guys. Let's get into this. Let's dig into the liquid. Let's see what it tastes like. Toboggan Rocker. I kind of like this 5.5 though. Not going to lie. Cheers. Cheers, Arvon. And not too sweet. Like it comes across so like sweet sometimes and very bright citrus, right? And it's more subdued at the 5.5. It's not like this is a sweet 7, 8, 9% DIPA from Arvon, right? They reeled this in. It's a little bit more subtly even through the mouthfeel all the way front to back. You get a little bit more bitterness, a little bit more. Again, it tasted maltier as I got in the nose, so it feels heavier and maltier through the middle. But really, at the end of the day, it's less fruity sweetness. It's less ABV. And I'm not mad about it. So some would say, oh, it's a little bit underwhelming for a hazy, right? But pale ale. So it's still giving you the bitterness, still giving you some nice balance too. That's what I like about pale ales. They're not just hot bombs. They're not 8, 9, 10%, 7%, 5.5% nice. It's kind of like your standard, I don't know, pale ale from Sierra Nevada, but this is indeed hazy. Way more flavor, way different flavor profile, but my point is very drinkable. You can have a couple of these, not be too upset, and it's got a lot of flavor with the Citra and Dorado in here. Chewy lemon. Some stone fruit notes. I mean, there's this, again, I get like this sharp passion fruit that's kind of dulled down because it's, again, not an 8% DIPA, right? It's 5.5, and you're getting a little bit more of that clashing of the bitterness, a little bit of the maltier mouthfeel through the middle. It doesn't finish as sharp. It doesn't finish as sweet and fruity, right? It just cuts off kind of at the end with a little bit of that piney bitterness. I do like this. Some would say, it's just not enough. It's not pungent enough. I feel like we get lost in the hazies, right? So as far as 5.5% hazy beer, you're getting a ton of flavor. We're still trying to emulate what a New England style IPA would bring to the table. Again, just a little bit more subtle flavors, a little bit cut back, a little bit more tamed. And I do really like this. It's more Citra than Dorado maybe, but now there's like this cantaloupe, stone fruity, passion fruit that I do think dominates the middle with a little bit heavier mouthfeel, a little bit of that malt kind of taking over a little bit through the middle. But again, the back end, dry, drinkable, slightly piney bitter, but not too overwhelming. It's, again, just a subtly tasty beer through the front and back. It's good. Again, I feel like for what you're getting with your eyes, you're gonna be like, "Wow, this is lacking flavor. It's not sharp enough, not dense enough, it's not sweet enough, it's not heavy enough." I like that. I like the subtle mouthfeel. I like a little bit more maltiness, a little bit more tamed pine and bitterness, and even fruitiness. Not just gonna bombard your palate with 50 million pounds of Citra, right? It's there, but it's tame and it's easy to put down. 5.5 is a good beer for me. So it's not going to blow you away, okay? I don't think it's meant to, but Toboggan Rocker, right? I don't know. It's a cool name. But, you're hitting the slopes. You're having one of these. You're having two of these. You're having three of these because you can. That's what's cool about it. So it's a good beer. It's a good beer, yes. Maybe slightly boring for some people. That's fine. And it's not going to blow your socks off, right? It's just a tasty beer at the end of the day. Still good, though. Still good. I would gladly drink a couple of these, be fine. A little bit acidic, a little bit. You can tell it's still loaded with a lot of Citra. And Dorado, just the 5.5, it's easier to put down than your standard 8% DIPA. So, 3.97 out of 5. That's where I'm putting this beer today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's another Arvon review. Cheers. Prost. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one.